Welcome back for chapter 20. Um, a little summary. Amulek desires Sarah, who is preserved by the Lord. Abraham prays for Am, Amulek, and the Lord blesses him and his household. Verse 1. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur and sojourned in Gerar. You guys can, I don't know if this is correct pronunciation, and some people say, who knows, because it was so far back, but somebody may know. And so I'm just going to say it the way I can. And Abraham said of Sarah, his wife, she is my sister. And, and Amalek, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Amalek in a dream by night and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. Verse 4, but Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? And 5, said he not unto me, she is my sister. And she even herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands, I have done this. So he's saying, I didn't mean to do this. He's explaining himself. He's going, hey, he said Abraham said that was his sister, and she said it too. And he said, I'm totally innocent. He said he's totally innocent. Abimelech said he's completely innocent because this is what they told them. God said unto him in a dream, yeah, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. So he made sure he didn't touch her, because he's going, yeah, I know they just kind of told you this, you didn't do it on purpose. So I'm getting after you now to make sure you don't, because it sounds like they were starting to get kind of close, and we'll keep reading and find out. Verse 7, now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine. So he's going, you're going to return them. So we know, okay, so common practice was you can kill the person, you can kill the spouse to get the other spouse. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why Abraham was concerned, and he said it was his sister, was because they didn't kill your relatives, they're going to pay off your relatives to marry you. And so they wouldn't have done that. They would have needed permission from the relatives. But strange enough that it was okay to kill a husband, because they didn't want to commit adultery or go do something like that. But yet they don't think about murder. Interesting. So the Lord, so you never know. You could see that they might go, hey, he's married. We do need to kill him to get the wife. And then she's single. But the Lord's very clear. Don't play games with me. If you don't return her and you play some games with me, know that you will die. And so will everyone else around you, and everyone you care about will die. So it's like the Lord has to tell him, hey, don't mess with me. Because why did he say it? If not, if he was just like, I am a godly man, I'm going to return him, I wasn't going to take another man's wife. The Lord has to remind him, don't mess around, because you know what, I'm not playing with you. So you're gonna, this is serious stuff. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning, because you're sleeping about this. How many times have you gone to bed, you can't sleep, right? So therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and the men were sore afraid. So I don't know if he was like, you guys, hey, kind of private, guess what, so that everyone isn't hearing, hey, guess what, And verse 9, then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us? As if he, as if the Lord didn't tell him, you better return, or he would have done it, even knowing that it was his husband, as if they never practiced stealing another man's wife by killing the spouse. What hast thou done to us? And what have I offended? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not be done. And so, it's interesting, because if this is a common practice, it's interesting that he's kind of like, what's up with you? Why did you do this? You know? And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. Verse 12, and yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, which, in a roundabout way, they are related. And some people, if you meet some groups of people, they will call you they'll call you auntie or mom or sister. And clearly DNA wise, you're not, but you are, as in a family. So if we went back and you watched some other videos, we kind of went over that. 13, and it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, this is thy kindness which thou shalt shew unto me, and every place whither we shall come, saith me, he is my brother. Okay, and I'm going to read the rest of 12. I don't know if I finished it. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. So she's related to his father indirectly, however, but she is. So, and then 13, and it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, this is thy kindness which thou shalt shew unto me, in every place whither we shall come, say of me, he is my brother. So remember, they did this before in Egypt. So when they left, they already had this understanding. When we meet people, this is what we're going to say, because people are like this. So they had already made that understanding that this is what they were going to do for safety. That was their plan. And so they were keeping with that plan. And this is okay. And she did. Women used to, and still do to a degree, couples follow each other. So back then, really, women really did follow their husbands. If their husband said to say something, they did it. And so, and Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants, and gave them unto Abraham, and restored him Sarah his wife. And 15, and Abimelech said, behold, my land is before thee, dwell where it pleaseth thee. 16, and unto Sarah he said, behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes, unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she was reproved. So it's interesting that she's being reproved, because the truth is, she was just doing what her husband told her to do. He begged her to do. He said, please do this for me. But he's kind of saying, hey, you did this. You're kind of responsible to say something yourself. You did this and you know better. I've also heard in some that it says, behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes. So, you're not supposed to be looking at other men. You're not supposed to pretend like you're single or anything like that. So, unto all that are with thee, with all other. So, another thing some people say is that, back then they wore veils, especially if they were married or whatever, some say, and that she wasn't wearing one. And so he gave her 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes. So there's a couple of things that people say. Some people have said, which it doesn't seem like it here to me, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces. Okay, so this sounds like if it happened beforehand, before he found out that he was trying to buy her. He was already buying her. He had given him 1,000 of silver, gave him money of silver to buy her. So it was getting close. So you can see that it was getting close, and he had brought her to him, remember? And so they were staying in probably a closer proximity than Abraham was staying with him. Or, and so the Lord said, "Ooh, this is over time. This is not just one day." So he gives her money, and the Lord says, "You better not touch her. You better not touch her." Now you think you just paid that fee, and he accepted the fee. So you accept the fee, then that means you bought her. Well, you can just see that Sarah and Abraham were probably praying and praying and praying that something would happen, that the Lord would intervene, because they're scared. If he intervenes, maybe they'll kill him and take her. Maybe they'll kill them both for not being honest. So you can just see that they're praying, and the Lord intervenes and says, "If you touch her, you die." And you're supposed to set them both free. So maybe he's like, well, it says that they were afraid, so they're scared. He's going, here's some oxen, here's some sheep, and maybe they were already his, and he came with them a little bit from what he got from Egypt, and so maybe he had a little bit of that, but we don't know. He could have been giving it to him, saying, "Hey, I'm your God's prophet. Here's some stuff. Go sit over there, and you're going to pray for me." The Lord says that he's going to pray for him. So he's going, the Lord does defend this guy, and he's going to pray for me. I'm going to give him these gifts, and he's going to pray for me. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maidservants, and they bare children. So apparently they weren't bearing children. And so he was going to take another wife, and he's going to bear some children, right? Because they're not bearing children. And that's another reason that maybe he was, they have polygamy, right? Because he already has a wife. So Abraham's scared he's going to grab his wife too. And obviously he wanted to bear children. So he was going to get another wife and see if he can bear children. He didn't put his wife away, apparently. He was going to get another wife. For the Lord had, in 18 verse, for the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. So they probably were there a while, because nobody was having any children. And so they were probably there a while for them to know that to notice that no one's bearing any children. So that's interesting. That's another interesting. If you have any more details or any more thoughts, please put them in the comment section so we can all learn, and any references you might come. Even if it's not from the Holy Bible, if maybe it's from the Quran, or it's from the Torah, or something like, the Book of Mormon. If you have some other insights, the New Testament, please share them with the verse. And thank you again for joining us, and I will see you later.